Think about it. Your dog is sitting right in front of you, not asking for anything, not barking, not moving, just looking directly into your eyes. And there's something in that gaze that makes you feel like everything inside you just stopped. Like that look isn't just a look, like it's saying something. And you're right, it is. Scientists have discovered things in the last decade so extraordinary that some researchers in the field of animal behavior openly admitted they couldn't believe their own findings, because the moment your dog looks into your eyes, something far deeper, far more complex, and far more meaningful is happening than you ever imagined. Watch this video all the way through, because what you learn today means you will never look at your dog the same way again. If you've ever wondered what's really going on inside a dog's mind, subscribe right now. Every video we make will change your relationship with your dog forever. Let's get into it. 1. That look is not an accident. It's a choice. Dogs naturally avoid making direct eye contact with other dogs. You may not have heard this before, but it's a critical piece of information. In the dog world, prolonged direct eye contact is a threat signal. It's a challenge. A dominant dog in a pack warns a subordinate dog by staring directly into their eyes. That's why healthy dogs typically avert their gaze slightly when communicating with each other. It's a courtesy, a safety protocol. Now think about this. Your dog is looking at you directly for a long time without blinking. This goes against their natural instinct. This is something that should make them uncomfortable. But they're not doing that. Instead, they're choosing to look at you. Why? Because their relationship with you has rewired their brain. A groundbreaking study by Dr. Miho Nagasawa and her team at Azabu University in Japan found that when dogs and their owners look into each other's eyes, oxytocin levels in both of them rise dramatically. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It's what's released between a mother and her baby in their first moments of eye contact. It's the biochemical substance that creates feelings of love, trust, and belonging. In other words, when your dog looks at you, they feel what a mother feels when she looks at her newborn. But it goes even further than that. The same research team found that this oxytocin loop occurs only in domestic dogs and humans, not in wolves, not in wild dogs. This is a unique cross-species biological bond that developed exclusively in domesticated dogs through tens of thousands of years of co-evolution. This is what's happening when you look into your dog's eyes. This isn't just a look, this is a loop. This is a moment where two living beings ignite each other's biology, filling each other with love through nothing more than a gaze. And every time it happens, that loop grows deeper roots. 2. Your dog is reading you, and they're doing it better than you read yourself. Dogs can't talk, but they've developed a very different evolutionary path for communication. And in many ways, that path is far more precise, far richer than language. One study found that dogs can distinguish between human facial expressions, not just happy and sad, joy, surprise, fear, anger, disgust. They can read all of these on your face. And they can do this without even needing to know you personally. They can read these expressions on the face of a complete stranger. But that's not even the most impressive part. Studies at Eötvös-Loránd University in Budapest showed that dogs actively scan human eyes to track social cues. When you show a dog an object and then look in a different direction, the dog doesn't look at the object first, they look at your face. They're trying to understand why you're looking that way. Then they follow your gaze. This isn't seen in most primate species, including chimpanzees. But in dogs, it's completely natural, as if their brains are hardwired with the instruction, the human's eyes are the source of information. When your dog looks at you, they're almost certainly not just looking, they're analyzing. They're trying to understand how you're feeling right now, where your attention is, and what you're about to do next. And there's a very good chance they're reading you better than you read yourself. They can smell your stress hormones, they can detect changes in your heart rate, they can sense a drop in your blood sugar, they can sometimes feel that you're about to have a seizure hours before it happens. These are not anecdotes, these are measured, published, repeatedly replicated scientific findings. And the primary entry point they use to access all of this is your face, your eyes. Every moment your dog looks at you, they are drawing you in, reading you, trying to understand you. Beneath that gaze, a massive data processing operation is running, and every bit of it is about you. 3. Behind those eyes is a memory, and you are at the center of it. A lot of wrong things get said about dogs' memory. Dogs live in the moment. They don't remember the past. They forget what happened 5 minutes ago. All of this is wrong. Episodic memory, the ability to remember specific events and their emotional context, exists in dogs too. A study published in Current Biology in 2016 showed that dogs can copy and remember actions performed by humans and can successfully reproduce those actions even hours later, but their memory works differently from ours. Their memory is largely encoded emotionally. They remember events not by date and time, but by how they felt, and you are at the center of the most intense emotional experiences in your dog's life. You were there when they were sick. You were the one who didn't leave even when they were crying. You were the one saying good morning to them every single day. You were the warmth they felt the first time they were held in your arms. When your dog looks at you, they carry a massive emotional archive behind their eyes that belongs to you. Every gaze is something like revisiting that archive. This is that person. This is the safe one. This is everything to me. To make this concrete, think about how many people in your dog's life have shared intense emotional experiences with them. Probably very few, maybe 1 or 2. You are one of those people. That's why that gaze carries so much weight. That gaze is the moment they focus all of their trust, all of their devotion, and all of their emotional world onto a single point, your eyes. 4. Your dog is trying to communicate with you, and they learned how to do it. We said dogs use eye contact as a threat with other dogs. But with humans, it's an entirely different story. Researchers believe dogs have consciously expanded their communication repertoire to connect with humans, meaning they've developed new signals beyond their innate ones based on what they've learned specifically about you. Look at what a dog frequently does when they want something or want to tell you something. They look at you, then they look at what they want, then they look back at you. This is called alternating gaze or referential eye contact. This is the exact same strategy used by 9 to 12-month-old human infants when they're trying to communicate. When your dog looks at you, they're most likely not just looking, they're saying something. If they look at the door and then at you, they want to go out. If they look at their bowl and then at you, they're hungry. If they're not looking at anything else and just staring directly into your eyes, then what they're saying is much simpler and much deeper. I'm just here with you, that's enough. But there are different types of this gaze, and each carries a different meaning. The types you need to know will show you the true depth of your communication with your dog. 5. Different types of gazes carry different meanings. Not every look is the same. Dog behavior experts have long documented that dogs use eye contact in multiple contexts and with multiple meanings. The first is the soft gaze, the look where the eye muscles are completely relaxed, the whites of the eyes aren't visible, and a slow blink accompanies it. This is the gaze that shows your dog is completely at ease, perceives no threat, and feels deep satisfaction from being with you. If your dog is looking at you this way, that moment is perfect for them, with you, right now, needing nothing else. The second is the attentive gaze, eyes slightly wider, ears forward, body with a slight tension. This is the gaze where your dog is actively analyzing you. They're trying to understand what's going to happen next. Are you going to get up? Are we going outside? Is something changing? This gaze is the expression of your dog seeing you as the most important source of information in their world. The third is the anxious gaze, whites of the eyes partially visible, body tense, perhaps accompanied by a slight change in breathing. This gaze says your dog is under stress and is seeking reassurance from you. Is everything okay? Am I safe? How you respond to this gaze determines whether you are a point of safety for your dog. The fourth, and perhaps most precious, is the long, silent gaze. Without asking for anything, without giving any signal, just sitting and looking at you. The environment is calm, the body relaxed, breathing slow. This type of gaze has only one meaning. This is the moment your dog has consciously chosen to simply be in your presence. This is enough for them, just you. This fourth type of gaze appears in dog behavior literature as the attunement gaze, and research shows that this gaze exchange raises oxytocin and serotonin levels in both dog and human. Both sides biologically benefit from this silent exchange of looks. 6. That gaze is protecting you, and it always has. Dogs went through a unique evolutionary journey. Tens of thousands of years ago, something began between wolves and humans. Two species learned to survive by combining each other's strengths. Humans made fire, built shelter, stored food. Wolves were unmatched in hunting with their sharp senses, speed, and night vision. But this relationship wasn't just pragmatic. Over time, it gained an emotional dimension. And at the very center of that emotional dimension was eye contact. Researchers discovered that domesticated dogs, unlike wolves, actively seek out human eyes. Wolves avoid eye contact with humans. Dogs seek it. This difference is the product of thousands of years of selective evolution. The animals that learned to make eye contact, that turned their gaze into communication, that earned the trust of humans, they survived. The rest survived too, but never became domesticated. This means every moment your dog looks at you carries the legacy of thousands of years of history. This gaze, passed down from their ancestors, was a contract. I am here, I am with you, and you are safe. And today, in your living room, that gaze watching you is still saying the same thing. 7. But some gazes carry pain, and you need to see it. There are times when everything is not beautiful, and your dog's gaze reflects that too. If a dog consistently avoids eye contact, keeps their gaze away from you, or turns their head away when you look at them, that is a signal. That signal may be saying that dog is living with insecurity, fear, or chronic stress. This is sometimes the result of wrong training methods, sometimes past trauma, sometimes the relationship dynamics we've created without realizing it. A dog being afraid to look at you doesn't mean they're afraid of you. It usually means they've learned at some point that direct eye contact led to a negative outcome. Maybe they were scolded harshly, maybe they were subjected to forceful physical correction, maybe they were just held and cuddled too much and lost their sense of personal space. This information is an opportunity to reconsider your relationship with your dog. When you look at them, pay attention to your body language, turn slightly sideways, keep eye contact brief, reward them. Over time you can build trust, and one day they will seek you out, directly, softly, willingly. When that day comes, you will know its value. 8. What do they want most from you? To receive the same in return. All of these scientific findings converge at one point. When you look into your dog's eyes, a two-way door opens. When you look at them, their brain feels rewarded. When you allow them to look at you, the bonding hormone flows to both sides. The more often this loop repeats, the stronger the bond grows. And many dog owners do this without knowing it. Their dog looks at them, they smile back. A minute, maybe two. Without saying anything, just looking at each other. This seems very simple to humans, but for the dog, this is a moment that means, my pack is with me, I know I'm safe, my world is in the right place. Learn to slow blink. In dog language, this is a signal of trust, and if your dog is slowly blinking at you or briefly breaking their gaze and returning to you, they're saying, I'm okay with you. Do it back. Soften your gaze, give a slow blink. They'll respond. And even when you're doing nothing else, just look at them. Long, soft, gentle. Studies found that dog owners who do this for a few minutes every day have dogs with lower anxiety, more social behavior, and stronger bonding profiles. Your eyes are one of the most powerful gifts you can give them. 9. Your dog's eyes are saying everything they can't tell you. We've examined a lot of things through the lens of science up to this point. But finally, I want to say something that isn't scientific, but is perhaps the most important thing of all. When your dog looks at you, they're saying everything they can't say because they can't speak. They can't say, how was your day? They can't say, I missed you. They can't say, it feels good to be here with you. But they look. And that look contains all of it. When you come home after a bad day and your dog is sitting at the door, looking into your eyes, it's not a greeting. It's saying, I see you and I'm here. When you're sick in bed and they come and look quietly at your face for hours, it's not a coincidence. It's saying, I know something is wrong and I'm not leaving you. When you're sitting together in the evening, you're occupied with something else, and your dog is sitting in their corner, occasionally watching you. That's not ordinary. That's saying, even when everything is fine, I think about you. These gazes aren't ordinary. These are real communications that transcend the language barrier designed by evolution, supported by biology. And now that you know this, what are you going to do the next time that gaze finds you? Stop. Soften your gaze. Send your eyes to your dog's eyes. And for a while, without saying anything, just exist, because your dog has been saying things through their gaze for years that couldn't be said in words. Maybe it's time to do the same for them. After watching this video, looking into your dog's eyes will never be the same again. Share this with all the dog owners you know. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, now is the perfect time, because our next video will feature some surprising topics, and the answer has everything to do with you.